Hidden in the hills of Spain's northernmost Galicia region lies one of Spain's most top archaeological secrets, a 2,000-year-old Roman military camp that appears and reappears when water rises and recedes. Welcome today as we explore Aquis Querquennis. Wow. So this is not your average tourist spot, which is why you must see it. Okay, we're here. So we just arrived here. There's actually a little park here for RVs. You can put your RV here. We actually put our car here. It's pretty empty. There's some potable water there. So there's 4 faucets there, they all work. You can stay up to 72 hours if you want. If you want a hotel, it's probably 30 minutes away. But why bother, right? You're in nature. And around here, there's ruins everywhere. Like if you go for a walk around the lake, you'll see maybe 30, 40, 50 derelict buildings. Some you can get into, some you can't. Some new, some old, like this. Look at this. Wow, who knows what that was for. But we're coming down now to the main area here. So if you do decide to camp here, there's a shower in there. It's actually quite nice. So the shower is full of mosquitoes, though. That toilet is full of mosquitoes. And right now there's, for some reason, a Chinese lady wiping her bum in the sink. So I'll probably spare you right now. Okay, here we are. Look at this. Aquis Querquennis. Via Nova Romana. Look at this. Wow. It's cool, isn't it? So, there's a hot spring there. But there is something to note about this lake, right? The thing to note about this lake is if you come at the wrong time, which is probably winter, spring, and the start of summer, apparently those are all wrong times, then the lake will be quite high, as you can see there. So if the trees look like that, you're not having a bath, basically. You're not having a thermal bath. so this whole area here sits on a sort of the edge of a tectonic plate, which means there's a lot of geothermal activity. So in this area, there are a lot of hot springs. Now this hot spring is a free hot spring, but there are others you can pay for, maybe €7.50, just slightly further north, maybe 20-30 minutes, where you can enjoy those things for a small fee, but they're more maintained. You don't have to rely on the level of the lake, for instance. So here they've got a museum and all different things, but we're going to skip by that and look at the old military Roman barracks, 2,000 years old. Wow. And even here we're surrounded by ruin. I mean, who knows what these were for? Look at this. Like even in here you can... So you see what I was talking about earlier, there's just endless ruins. I mean, I saw some houses maybe 30 years old which are completely abandoned as well, so it's quite interesting. Maybe everyone's moving to Madrid or Porto in Portugal, I'm not sure. Well, I guess she left, so I might as well show you. Yeah, look, the only problem here is all the mosquitoes. Look at these. It's just endless, endless mosquitoes. So, if you don't like mosquitoes, then you're probably not going to like the lake. But they do have a nice shower. Right there, look. And one little toilet. Alright, let's go see some ruins. Wow, look at that. Okay, so here's where we are. This is part of the national park system here just north of Portugal in that tiny little gap. So we are here, Porto Quintela. This is what we're going to look at. This is probably what we can't look at, but we're going to find out, the Roman baths. And then it extends, look at that. Huge park. And there's a nearby town right there. So the Romans, they were stationed here. The Romans stationed here around, I think, 79 AD, 70 AD or something. And their job was to build the Via Nova connecting Portugal, Braga, all the way up into Spain. And this is where this camp comes from that we can maybe see today. So here's a nice little museum, look. It's just €2 to get in, but it's only open Wednesday till Sunday. And if you want a guide, well, that's €5. I don't know if they'll guide you over here though, but I suppose they'll guide you in the museum. We're almost there. I see the sign. Okay, we're just walking up to the ruins now. Wow, it smells bad. It smells really bad. It smells like stagnant water and there's mosquitoes everywhere. But there it is, look at that. Just sitting in the middle of this lake here. Unreal. Okay, I think we're here. Alright. Who knows how old this stone is even. Could be an old Roman signpost. Probably is actually. We have some in the UK still, they kind of look like that. But yeah, we're just approaching the outer wall now. So, a couple more minutes. Only about 800 meters from where we started. And it's a very nice walk as well. Yeah, I keep seeing fish come to the side of the water. You hear that? Well, here we are. Welcome to Aquis Querquennis. So I think we can just climb up here. Wow. Oh yeah, the smell. You can see this is where the smell comes from. It's very stagnant. But here it is, look. Roman camp. A little archway in the water there. So I imagine at the end of summer, I don't even know what the season is supposed to be. It's very confusing finding out information, but certainly at any time of the year you can walk on top of the walls here. So what you're going to see here, you can see, I think a hospital, guest houses, various rooms and barracks and things. Look at that. Wow. Look at the contrast as well in the background. And when the water level goes down, you can see stone roads. I imagine aqueducts, drainage systems. Where do you see this anywhere? I mean, you see Roman ruins everywhere, but where do you see it partially submerged in a lake? I'm being attacked. Can you see those gnats? Oh, they're everywhere. They're following me. It's like being in a cartoon, you know, where the cartoon's surrounded by hornets or something. Alright, oh yeah, they're everywhere. Okay. Whew. So look at this. So I'm guessing this is where the €5 guide comes in. Or I might be mistaken in thinking that's for the museum only. But see what we can get away with here. So it's not too deep. It's maybe a meter. Less than a meter with a soggy bottom. But you can see it's beautifully preserved. Look, I mean, you're thinking 2,000 years old. 2,000 years old. Look at the quality of this. Whoa, brickwork, stonework, I guess. It's absolutely amazing. Oh, we might have reached our limit. Okay, yeah, we have. So I'm guessing there was an archway connecting these two here, which is sadly not there anymore. We can sort of get over there, I suppose, when the season is right. You can see the archway a bit more prominent there. You see how it sort of slowly slopes there, so there'll be an arch there. Who knows what building this was for? It's quite fascinating, really. Oh, you're never going to beat the battle of the gnats, the midges. Look at that, it's absolutely amazing, isn't it? Wow. Okay, so we're coming around now. See the other side of these ruins, I guess. I think we could probably jump down there. Maybe not there, but certainly it looks a little more drier up here. Let's see what we can find. I love that archway in the water. That looks crazy. Look at that. So this is where we shot the intro for the video you saw earlier. We're just dancing around some of the area here. I think someone might have gone toilet there. How sad. I saw a lot of boulders over there that have all been collected. You know, perhaps it's not hard to believe that some mortar was added in these stones, but the plan is sort of how it used to look back in the day. But here we are, look at this, wow. So there's where we were earlier, look, just on that little area there. So there were headquarters here, storage houses, everything you need for a Roman camp to survive while building, well, I imagine a huge connecting Roman road, for instance. Look at all these columns here. Wonder what they were for. You can see them there as well. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Wow. And it's almost like we've gone backwards in time with building things. These have survived 2,000 years. I think like a brick house now, what has a 100-year stamp on it. In Las Vegas, they make them out of plywood. It's just rip them down and put up a new one. Which raises an interesting question. How do we create ruins anymore? I don't know, but perhaps one to think about. Yeah, so the area is quite big. I was quite surprised. It's a little stinky, not gonna lie, but I'm thinking maybe the end of the summer is the time to visit. Then everything will be less submerged, and you can sort of see a bit of everything. Needless to say, a partially submerged Roman military camp actually looks pretty cool as well. And here lies in the middle of the camp, well, water, access to water, and you can see how full that is. I'm sure it doesn't work, but well, not for drinking water anyway, but it's just amazing how well preserved this whole area is. You can see some arches over there. We'll go look at that in a second. But it is truly amazing how much is surviving after 2,000 years, especially with a reservoir going up and down as well. Anything in water seems to survive a lot less longer than exposed to the elements. Oh, a lot of fishes bubbling there. So there's the archway we saw earlier, look at that. So the ruins will go all the way out there. Right now there's some sort of birds chilling on there, so that will be something for maybe late summer perhaps. But we can see the wall, the sort of outer wall of the camp there, going all the way to that archway. We'll take a look at that. But I don't know, when we set up a camp to do a building now, it's all made of plastic and ripped down again, isn't it? So I imagine building a camp in order to build a road is quite an undertaking. Can't imagine how many people they had in a typical Roman legion. I imagine quite a lot. Wow, look at this. So I'm wondering if anyone's seen many other Roman ruins, if there's a template here. Do you see the same design in other regions, in other countries? Or is it unique to every camp? I imagine it's a bit of both. But it would be interesting to see a similar design halfway across Europe. It gives you an idea of the size, organization of the Roman Empire. Okay, I managed to hop on the wall. There's a couple what look like plaques there. I'm not sure if they're for tourists, or I imagine so. Yes, there's a couple arches there. I wonder if that was like an entrance and an exit, just because it's sort of on the far exterior wall there, and there goes into the forest. Whether it was an entranceway of sorts, because where we were in the far corner there, you can see the same design. Maybe it's a front door, back door, who knows? But obviously they're going to have carts and legionnaire vehicles and things coming in and out, so they do look wide enough for some sort of horse-driven cart, for example. There's arches here as well, so this must be like almost like a hallway or something. Just speculating here. Another archway on the perimeter over there, and then inside you would have all the buildings, storehouses, equipment, supplies, weapons, and what everyone keeping safe, I guess. But It's really quite amazing, isn't it? Wow. And things like this, well, you're not going to find this in Madrid. A partially submerged Roman military barracks. You're not going to find it at the beach. You're going to find it in northern Spain in the middle of nowhere. So another reason to go and explore and have an adventure. Go off the beaten track. But what do you think of Aquis Querquennis? It's pretty cool, isn't it? Wow. Yeah, I love to come here when it's not spring, start of summer, even midsummer, really, just have a walk around. But you know, you can't deny it looks something out of a fantasy book, doesn't it? Okay, so that was some of the ruins. How cool was that? It's amazing, isn't it? So last night I went over to the mineral baths. I was curious what the water level was like, what you could see, but sadly everything is submerged. I'll show you that footage now so you have a good idea not to come here in June or July. Maybe August, September, potentially October could be a better time if you want to enjoy the mineral baths. Okay, so this is the night before. You can see where the cars come in here. Car comes in, drive, turns into a lake. So I think June time is not a great time to come to the baths. So it's crazy. I mean, they're the tourist signs that you're supposed to read. And they're in what looks like, I don't know, 10 feet of water. So, yeah. I don't know. I mean, we hiked through the forest because I think there's supposed to be a trail here, but it's just submerged. But I do see some remnants of baths there. I don't know if you see those slats there. Huh. We'll keep looking here. Yeah, look here. I wonder if we can read the sign from here. See what it says. There you go.
Oh yeah, this is the thermal baths.
Yeah, this is the thermal baths, alright. It does smell very bad though, like, you know, stagnant water, like black water. It smells really, really bad. So I hope these aren't the baths, but they do look like the baths. It's a nice area though, it looks super eerie. Right now it's 10 p.m, would you believe it? 10 p.m. Still kind of light. Wow. Let's carry on up here, see if there's anything else. Yeah, there's something else there as well, look. But that's where we were, look at the start of the video, you see that in the distance? So we hiked through all those trees, crossed some rivers and muddy areas to get here. But yes, it's not looking passable right now. So I think I found one of the thermals there, watch this, look. I mean, they're mosquitoes, but that's definitely a thermal. It's just very far away in the water. And there's another one there, look at that. Oh wow, definitely the Google reviews picture look a little different. Yeah, so I'm guessing they had some sort of camping here a while ago. Looks a bit run down and grown over. You know, almost like it was really good 20 years ago or something like that. That's the sort of impression I'm getting. You know, 20 years ago it looked like it might have been popular, but there's a lot of wear and tear and age on a lot of the things here. And also where we parked the car, there's no one there. But that seems to be it in this area, unfortunately. So as you can see, all the baths were pretty much completely submerged. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't even go to the tourist signs or even touch a tree. So yes, it's quite an interesting area. But here the bricks I was talking about earlier, that's why I was thinking, you know, someone's collecting these, maybe the museum, and they're sort of reconstructing some of the things. And that's why I think some of these have had, you know, like mortar added and reconstructed. It's just a theory, I don't know, but that's the impression I got anyway. But yeah, what do you think of Aquis Querquennis? Cool little Roman military camp in northern Spain, just a stone's throw away from the northern Portuguese border. That's cool, isn't it? Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you think about visiting, I'll put all the details in the description below. You can check it out. Take care, guys. Wow.